Welcome to the channel. I'm Glaf. This is the Kaldheim Commander series. Today we're doing Fynn. He's number 28 out of 36. Fynn the Fynntastic. He is the most Fynntastic one that I've done for a while now. I have had a glut of wins, like 13 out of 15, or the last 15 out of 17, something like that. I've only gotten 2 losses out of the last like 20 games. There does seem to be some sort of deck MMR. People say there's no personal MMR here, but I've finally been starting to get playing against more difficult decks. So Fynn the Fangbearer is 2 for a 1/3 Death Touch. When a creature you control with Death Touch deals combat damage to a player, that player gets 2 poison counters. So we have a couple of different types of cards in the deck. Unfortunately, not a lot of Death Touch creatures. Some 4 to cast, some 2 to cast. So that makes him difficult, right? Okay, so we have to have some tricks. We've got a couple of different things to get him in their face. We've got one of my favorites, making them unblockable or giving them flying, making everything else block a certain creature. We've got 3 creatures that can do this: Prized Unicorn, Taunting Arbor Mage with a big kicker, but you have to have another creature down to be able to do that. Prized Unicorn's a bit better, but it takes a turn to do it, so Taunting Arbor Mage has a little bit of advantage over that. And this one's very expensive, but it also gives you 3 cards. Treeshaker Chimera. So all creatures able to block must do so. And that's one way to get some poison through. We've got a couple of different ways to give flying. Where's the other one? Okay. Missing one of our artifact flying equipment. Put that in before we start. And last but not least, because it is a big part of the deck, got Fight Mechanics, Blizzard Brawl, Primal Might, Inscription, Khalni Ambush, Outmuscle, and Struggle for Skemfar. You might think these aren't as useful, but they work quite well, surprisingly well, especially when you get something like Blessing of Frost on a creature. Okay, and then we've got the other couple that just do direct damage to the opponent. And other than that, we've got a little bit of card draw here and there, some other ways to boost a creature, a Tyrite Sanctum for the ability to give indestructible, and that's about it. Now, I didn't think this would work that well, but as I said, I've got somewhere in the about 90% win rate with it so far, so it's been a blast. Hopefully we'll keep that up, because as I also said, we're starting to go against a little bit tougher decks. Hopefully this deck MMR isn't going to affect you. You'll be able to get your own good win streak with it before it balances out. Alright, let's get in and see what happens. Hefe. Okay, Hefe. We do have a couple of Death Touch creatures. Don't always have the advantage of having multiple Death Touch. Nethor is not an easy matchup, though, is it? Suppose we can get in, start hitting them hard. Let's keep it. Sometimes you can hit the free mulligan and just try to go for one of the 1 to cast Death Touch creatures that finishes off a game pretty quick. Since we have flying here, I think we'll just head right in. Can't equip next turn, so we'll leave the wings in the hand and throw the replicating ring down. And this one's 2 to cast now because we have a green permanent on the board for them. That's quite helpful. So let's start there. Probably put that down after the attack. Don't want him to be making choices with more information on the board. It's not that hard to actually get a creature with power 4 or greater with this deck. Okay. So they've got blockers for days. I might double block the Fynn. We'll see. I'm going to give this guy flying if we can, because it gets us an extra card. So I might just end up going in with that. Let's see, now if they double block, Snakeskin Veil doesn't help. Could just recast him. Let's wait to sack him till later though. Looks like we have to protect the Arcane adversary. And they don't want to come in. They don't want to lose a creature. Good for us. We can put the Signet down and the... Let's see, and the Caryatid. And the replicating ring and the Caryatid. We'll just go all out there. Again, casting before the battle. Up to 6. Alright, double flying next turn. Always good to see. This is one of the best ones. I left it out accidentally of the main deck in the video before we started. This is probably the best one early game, and then this is the best one late game, because you can make a creature unblockable. And it looks like that's it. Do it, come on. Think hard. No way to protect the adversary. So we'll see. Okay. 12 damage. You got this. We don't care about damage at all. I have never won a game. There was one that I could have won. But I have never won a game with damage. Every single one has been with poison counters. Just like that. Now, occasionally they let you actually give them the poison counters. Ah, coal. Okay. What's good about coal is it's probably going to be a lot of smaller creatures, which, well, this doesn't care about, but most of our fights do care if their creature is smaller. Got 2 ways to protect. Every once in a while, coal has 3 ways to protect. That's a bit much. If I wasn't talking, if I was reading my cards, I probably would have mulliganed there, but even with a bad hand, this should be an okay game. Okay, they're not going to block here. We might want to bite them, though. It's a sorcery, so... Oops. Don't want him to be getting anything good out. He's going to be able to protect creatures once Cole gets out with an equipment. Is it equipment or enchanted? Yep. All right. Gonna need something else here pretty soon. Let's see, Snakeskin Veil is way better than Ranger's Guile because it gives a counter. Indestructible. Once we have that counter on, we can then force everything to block it and kill 2 creatures, giving them indestructible. With the other one. So we just need a little bit more to get through. Okay. No thanks. So we use the worst one now. Could have just given it the counter. That's not a bad idea. You're going to start getting their win condition up, even though they're not a Magda deck. Don't really want to cast. Okay, going to let it through. They get 2 of these next turn. Starting to see some trouble here. 5 mana available. Can we hit with him 2 more times? A lot of games it's just Fynn on the board by himself, hanging out, being protected. I've never actually had a hand where I had all 3 of my protection spells. So that's kind of interesting, but usually he's okay even without it. Okay, that doesn't auto-equip. But he did use the... okay. No problem, right? Could definitely use another creature or some card draw. Well, that's something. 6 mana, so we can make him indestructible. Draw a card. Might just have to put down the Arbor Mage. let him kill Fynn. Well, hopefully, this is a risk. We're taking down shields. Could have just used it next turn to kill the Fynn. So that's not as bad. I was worried that they would actually do something to him, like another pacifism, a pacifism type spell or something like that. Faith's Fetters. This isn't nearly as bad. And the reason I was wanting to go into it like that let's block this. The reason I wanted to go like that is because they're not going to just let Fynn through. We have to force him through for the last point. They're going to hold something back. So we had to start taking some sort of chances there. Okay, that's not what we needed. Can still protect him. Give him indestructible. All the stuff. They've got enough to bring out a dragon if they've got him in the deck, or more likely Embercleave. This might be one of those losses. Still up around 90% with this as a loss, though. We'd have to attack with 2 dwarves to get out an Embercleave, I think. 4/4. I think I'm okay with that. Sure. We got time. That's trouble, though. You get 4. Okay, I'm not using them for anything. Almost nothing out of that. So that's pretty good. Make them recast Coal for 4 and then not be able to reattach the Maul. Really? I think they still had a pretty... Okay. I mean, it's not horrible. Got the wings. Can be pretty good. I like this. Anytime I see a 1/1 Death Touch, it's a good start because you can get in for that one almost every game the first turn. Expecting some removal here, but these are mostly creature decks. A lot of the time a game like this is over just 3 turns and they scoop. Should we bite them? Could give some counters. Guess we could just do it at instant speed though. Probably wants to grow it. Take that chance, put the ring down. That way we can bite and abundance next turn. Yeah. Orvar. I had to quit a game against him earlier, not because I was losing, because I had to walk away. Let's see how it should have gone. Ah, you got the Sanctum. Let's not drop that, it auto-attaches. I would love to drop a Signet. It's almost always better, from what I've found, to just throw Fynn down, get in that first poison strike. You'll usually get one real quick. Because they almost definitely don't want to block with that. I mean, could Field of Ruin their Tyrite Sanctum, but I think what we really want is get that out. That way we can Questing Beast next turn and make something fly. Just want to save up. Well, I could have put it down this turn. I kind of wanted to save the auto attach in case I want to put it on the Questing Beast, but that's doesn't make as much sense now that I'm thinking of it, because Questing Beast just goes over these anyway, whereas Fynn doesn't, so I probably want to put it on him. Might want to Outmuscle the Fynn, or the Orvar right now, so that he can't make a bunch of extra stuff. Probably make a bunch of hippocamps. So they might have a 1 to cast +4 -4, which makes this turn not go well for us, but if we do this, then it'll force them to put it on the hippocamp. They probably want to double it anyway and draw their card rather than save themselves. Okay. Okay. So do we want a Questing Beast to fly or the Fynn to fly? In a way it doesn't matter, because we can just recast Fynn, and if Questing Beast dies, it takes out the Djinn anyway. Double block, and they'd have to double block here. So I guess I want the Questing Beast to fly. Or no, neither of them to fly. Okay, interesting. That takes away the ability. Wish that this was a fight for once. That way maybe they give me a double block on the Fynn instead of just blocking the questing beast. Oh. Okay. We've got some plan. Better be a good one. Can always outmuscle, I suppose. I mean, Fungal Rebirth. No, that's for only permanents, right? Okay. 5, 6, 5. Probably have to recast him this turn. He kills whatever he touches. Have to all block everything to both kill the Fynn and the questing beast. I think that they're up to 4 more, so that's 8. They don't quite have 8. They probably could next turn. Alright. I was expecting that to come. I was hoping it wouldn't be right now, though. Okay. 6 mana available. We could toss away the questing beast. I think just getting this one out and attaching will work for now. We might, I might want to reattach over to the Fynn because no, you don't want to do that. Okay. Guess that gives us the chance to attack with 3 creatures, and they have to make some bad blocks here. I had to put a couple of return creature from the graveyard cards because we don't have enough. Yeah. Rough game for us, but we made it. Okay, Veto. Veto tends to be a little bit too slow to do much. And again, with some throwaway creatures like that. And plenty of removal. See if they drew their 2 cast removal or their 1 Bloodchief's Thirst eliminate Heartless Act. No, they think that skeletons are yummy. Let's see. I suppose we just want to fly over, save all the other stuff for later. This Masked Vandal hasn't been very valuable, but it's hard to use because we don't have a lot of creatures in the deck. Maybe I was considering Gemrazor would be a better trade. Gemrazor's not great because Fynn is going to be our main source of creatures in the deck that we'll see most games. So we don't have a lot of non-humans, even though all of the other creatures in the deck, I believe, are non-human. Yeah, that's one of the annoying ones. We have to get him killed somehow, or boost him up enough, turn after turn. Let's see, Raven Wings gives him +1, and the Tyrite Sanctum will give him another +1, or we can wait and block. Blizzard Brawl, we could actually hit this turn. That's 2. Let's just start doing this for now. Do we want to actually waste a Blizzard Brawl on getting in a poison hit? Don't think so. Let's just put him down. Sure. Would love to. See if he reacts to that, if he doesn't understand what's going on. I don't have a creature in the graveyard. Oh, very nice. Wow. Okay. Well, that's perfect. Don't have a creature in the graveyard, and this only works if you can remove a creature from the graveyard. So 4 mana, plus a Blizzard Brawl, kills a Veto. Not ideal, since he just comes back, but probably will be 2 turns before they can get him down again. Not bad. Like to see the Arcane come down. Flip a coin. Okay. Here's where to decide, do we want the Arcane down? Bad enough to attack with Fynn and see if they double block. Yeah, they just want to do that. +2/+1, but it turns him into a 3, so I guess we make him a god and give him a counter. Oh, he's got a Death Touch. Oh, didn't know that that gave Death Touch. Well, okay. Could just return him to hand, but I think we'll put him over there and wait for a little bit. Okay, now the Kite Sail Haven attack is looking a lot better. Alright, we have a creature for taunting Arbor Mage now once we get up to 6. So let's put this down. We have to hope for a land next turn. No, they didn't tap. They must not have any value for life gain. Right now, I suppose once they get veto. Okay, we could let the Masked Vandal die and then kill the Witch's Oven. It's starting to get kind of annoying. Might have to just get a land even if we do see a good creature. They don't have any non-basics. Suppose there's no reason not to get this though, just in case they do come up with something good. Want to save that for Fynn? No. Just put this on him for now so we can make a good block if we have to. Gonna be slow going. We have to try to force them to kill all of our creatures so that Fynn doesn't get any more costs tacked onto him. A little bit of ramp in the deck, but not enough to get him out for 9 probably. And without Fynn, the deck doesn't work. So if we can make something else seem a little bit more scary to them, that would help. The other thing is maybe leaving Fungal Rebirth in hand so that we can just send him to the graveyard. Okay. I think we need to be really careful with him. Can only return him once or twice more this game. Trying to get the Tyrite Sanctum to hit. Most decks, I'd say Tyrite Sanctum is kind of, fun, but not necessarily great. In a deck like this, though, where I have to have Fynn to survive, it's actually pretty good. Okay, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we've got enough to Tyrite Sanctum at the end of their turn and Arcane now. We want to do it at the end of their turn so they don't realize what a threat it is. I'm going to tap this. We do want to fly over and hit them, but it is just a little bit worrisome to not leave that counter open. So let's go ahead and do it this way. If they've got removal, we're almost in trouble. We're not in complete trouble yet. This is a deck that doesn't care about attacking us. They want to gain a bunch of life, but we don't care about their life. We don't care about their tokens. We're going to fly right over. Going to want to kill Veto again eventually, though. We do care about our life. That's dangerous. Might not even be able to do this. Might need to just get in for the damage. we can return 2 cards, one being Fungal Rebirth, one being Fynn, or we could Blizzard Brawl the Veto and still have enough left up. Okay, so we'll have to do that. That still gives us a way. I think if they had removal, they would have used it. So we could save Veto. It's Blizzard Brawl. If they get a good hit, they could just kill us next turn. It's 7 to cast now, which they don't have. Only up to 4. I've never never had this much trouble getting in for damage. So we'll try to keep the Arcane adversary alive this next turn. Wow. Okay. Let's see. 5, 6, 7, 8. We have enough to... No, we can't do both. Oh, that's tough. We can give +1 counters, but we need the life. So we'll gain the life and Blessing of Frost. And move the Raven Wings over and attack. No, that doesn't leave us enough health open. If we had been able to hit one more time. Okay, which one do we need dead? The Marauding Blight Priest. Should tap your Tavern Swindler. Up to 6. Don't really have time to move that. They don't have any flying, so we'll just toss this down. Getting Veto out next turn. If they get a land drop, then this game is over. If the Tavern Swindler comes up the wrong way. Otherwise, it's over in our favor. So we'll toss them down again as just a regular old creature, not getting a chance to use the effect, though there's an argument to be made. We could have killed 2 creatures, 2 pretty good creatures, the Tavern Swindler and the Grey Merchant, instead of giving the counter to that. Okay. He's going to be 6 more, so that's 8, 5, 6, 7, 8. Could cast him. If we don't, then that's 5. With 3 left over, not quite enough to do that, but enough to get the Raven Wings on the Arcane adversary. So we'll decline. Okay, it would have been enough, but that's fine. Primal Might, huh? Guess the biggest worry would be that they Tavern Swindler us with Veto out next turn. As long as I don't kill this, I'm okay, right? There we go. Tulane. Teller of Tales. Lizard Bite. Okay, Lizard Bite. Got a good hand here. Any hand with one of the 1/1 death touches I would keep, even if everything else in it was horrible. 2 land and a Tajaru Bright Blade. Oh yeah. Hard to beat. You need to hit 5 times, so that's 1, and then 2, 3, 4, 5. Do you want to block my guy? He probably does, if he knows what's good for him. So that's a little bit sad. Very rarely do I not get my first attack through. So let's just get the Fynn down. We don't have a way to bring Tajaru back, so we won't block. We won't attack this time. Could you shut that door? Sad to just use that inscription like that, since next turn it could have been so much more. But what's important is every turn you can to get in a counter. As we saw that last game, it was a very difficult long game because we weren't able to get every counter in. Okay. He's still the commander. So even if I can't give poison counters, I still can draw cards. No, nothing I want. The Bane. So hopefully I'll remember next game to switch Gem Razor over from the Mask Vandal. Mask Vandal doesn't give much help, but Gem Razor gives Trample and a 4/4. So it's actually pretty good. Three, 4 flying first strike, Migratory Great Horn. Good for you. Start with the draw. Outmuscle. Indestructible. That's not what we want. We want very destructible. If at least 3 green was spent. So if we put Tyrite Sanctum down and tap for a non-green next turn, we can outmuscle. Try to let them kill this. We don't need to. No, we still do need to. Indestructible. Indestructible is painful. Just trying to kill our own Fynn. No, this does not work because it's only mana of the identity. So I have to get both of these out. How hard do I have to work to get my commander killed? Could just force a fight with Fungal Rebirth. No, Fungal Rebirth doesn't get that. We could give him protection from green. Okay, hopefully putting this the wings on the Okame adversary will stop him from attacking there. No. Okay. Interesting. Okay, once in future, that would have worked. Okay. No, I don't want you to use that. A4. There we go. Could do that. We'll save it for later, though. We want the Tajaru Light Blade to go in. I do believe so. I think that would be fun. A couple more of these types of mana producers might be nice to be able to put onto the Arboreal. Well, that's not nice. How dare you? Okay, he's just going to keep going in with that. That's fine, though. Really going to have to make some good blocks next turn to not just die to the... that helps. To die to the poison damage, right? Okay. We have one legendary. Can't get him up high enough to get past the 4/4s. Though it can with the Snakeskin Veil, so if they block him there, that will work. Let's see what we get with this first. Nothing at all. This gets blocked with the 4/4, most likely. They want to kill it. This gets blocked by the 1/3. Fynn we can bring back, so maybe we let him go to the Hallowed Priest, I'm guessing. They only have to block 2 out of the 3 and then come back in for plenty of damage. But as long as we can put the Florahedron out, and we can Fungal Rebirth something and make some 1/1s, that should be okay. Let's just go in and attack them. Don't think I want to fight first. Okay. That's quite a thing to do. So maybe saving Fynn isn't that bad after all. Maybe bringing him back with this would be better. Because this way we can bring back the Bright Blade and it's slightly less to cast. Get him a little bit closer to the mark there. They almost have lethal if they've got any tricks. This isn't going to work, of course. They're both flying, so we don't get any chance to block anyway. So once in future is looking pretty good. Bring back the Inscription, bring back the Bright Blade, bring back the Kite Sail and Outmuscle. Kind of liking Outmuscle right now. I suppose we'll do the 2 fights. Push as hard as we can next turn for those last 2. If they don't attack, plenty of gas to put Tulane back down. And a nice little chunk blocker. See if they notice that we have 2 fight spells back in the hand. If not, That could be game. Okay. Are you out? Do you have anything else? You gain 1 life. Put a land down, okay. And a creature. So that's not going to work. Can we do? Can draw a card. Another creature. Oh, Chulane. You taunted me. You thought that I had it. You made me think I had a chance. What can we Fungal Rebirth up? So we can fight. Fungal. Fight again. How much mana do we have? How many times would we need to do this? Abundance fight. So that's 2, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. Outmuscle 14 total. We could fight 4 times. Okay, it looks like we're going to have to play this more safely than I was hoping. Maybe we can just kill... Let's see, you are a god. Can we kill the 6/7? Wait, what? Should have just gained the life. I can't do it this way. Oh well. Fun stuff anyway. Take our one last little chance here to get a land. Ah, and death. Yes, good game. Oh, thank you so much. That may not have been a troll. This was a good game. Let's okay, let's see what Morit can do. Another one of those surprisingly good commanders. They probably have green, so this is only 2 to cast. So that'll count as something pretty good. Can always adventure awaits. Might end up putting this down first and then the Fynn. The Fynn. Nope. Yeah. That is the only reason we lost that other game, I think, right? Or no, that's the one. Is that the Chulane game? Creature isn't going to help me right now. Snakeskin Veil would have been helpful for that, though. Oh, why didn't I attack? So focused on killing Fynn off to get that off of him. Let's type it in. I need to search through the whole list. Serpent. A Morit Serpent deck. Okay. That's interesting, right? I want to outmuscle them. Kinda. These things can get big. Do I want to save it so that Fynn can die on it someday? Well, this will be the first time I've ever done this, but I'm going to go for damage. I already missed that 3, so hopefully that doesn't come back to bite. Going to keep him as small as I can, though, because I still want him to die. Turn this guy into a 5/6 next turn and fight whatever he puts down. Ah, Cosima. Ugh, how embarrassing. Trying to win with damage. He forced it on me. It's not my fault. This is another +1/+1 counter. Plus I make sure to get through. That's 8, 9 damage. Could go 10 damage there. Oh, he's got tricks. Okay. So only 3 damage probably, unless they really want that to be a 4/4. Alright. I could only attack with Fynn next turn, force them to block and kill it, then go for the poison win. No, because I can't hit him enough times. Do they have life gain? No, it's not going to work. Hey, shapeshifter. Nice. Okay. Okay, this is embarrassing. Feels bad. It's so wrong. Okay. Okay, Turgid. I see you. Oh. Okay. I'm gonna keep 7 and probably regret it. Question is, do we start with Tangled Florahedron, Tome of Legends, or we just go straight for that damage? Because that's the only way to win. Straight for that poison. Here we go. Can you kill Fynn for the first time? It's gonna be... He's gonna be 11 to cast by the end of this game if we can keep casting him. We'll have this for later. More worried about getting... Start with this in case we have to throw this down as a land next turn. And then the next time we cast him, we've got to leave open Snakeskin Veil. So it'll probably be Tome of Legends Adventure Awaits next turn. Waiting for this to come up as a land, and wondering if they'll kill the Elysian Caryatid. Might have some discard. You're gone first. Tough choices for the second, for a 2-mana turn. Okay. That's probably Poison the Cup. Okay, now we can put Fynn down safely. And we'll see if it's poison the cup, then they've got him again. He's up to 6. We have to set up something big before we let him go in again. Yeah, you can do it on my turn. Don't worry. Can't do it now. You can do it later, though. Hello. Is there any question whether or not you actually want to do it? Get that scry. It's a good move. Maybe he's just pretending he has it. Okay. Now the Florahedron, or let's do both. I think this is okay as a land. Adventure awaits. And we can Tome of Legends at the end of their turn. Oh, so tempting. Okay. Can cast him another time. Not comfortably, but he can come down. Don't have any protection for him anyway, so I suppose it doesn't matter. Pretending that we do is kind of nice. Gotta rep another Veil type card. I've only put down 2 destroy a creature so far. Oh, stop touching things and play. We're gonna need it. I don't see any creatures yet. We've got 2 ways to kill them when we do, so. Up to 4. Let's see if they actually decide to put a creature down or something less annoying than just killing my creature over and over again. Up to 8. Seven on the board. And kill the Brightblade instead. That's a good idea. There we go. Thank you. Should we Primal Might that or Outmuscle it? Let's say Primal Might. We'll do Outmuscle. Let's draw a card. Let's see. 4, 5, 6, 7. Leaves us 3 left over for a Tyrite Sanctum, too. Let's put the counter on this guy. You heard me click, right? That's frustrating. On top of your library, so you'll get that back next turn. Now, do we want to make him a god? I don't think that really helps as much as drawing a card, probably. It's not like if they're gonna kill him, they can kill him on their turn with the sorcery, or on our turn at instant speed before we make him indestructible. Okay. Two things. I don't want to give that up. Maybe I can draw land. Could just cast it this turn in case. In case, no. Okay. Close. Okay. Let's make you bigger. No, can't do it. Oh. And let's stop the priority thing from happening. Oh, ran through. So if I wouldn't have casted the cliffhanger before putting down, before using the tome, I could have ran through, killed him that turn. I mean, we've got this. That's not a problem. There are very few cards in the deck that he could cast Turgid for 5 and then also do anything with, or suppose there's no blood on the snow because there's no thing here. Even if he has Extinction Event, Hooded Blightfang's not a problem. Ram through deals damage, it doesn't fight, so the poison doesn't matter, so if he casts 2 creatures, it's not a problem either. Prized Unicorn finally shows up. Let's kill you. Okay, so we're at about an 86% win rate. I was just looking. Pretty good. 19 out of 22. This isn't a bad hand. It's actually pretty good, but just, yeah, it's pretty good. I can use the Arbor Mage on the Florahedron to end the game eventually. Just feels a little slow since I have to Fynn and then Arcane Signet and then Florahedron. It'll all happen at the same time. This is going to be a life gain deck, obviously. They might have a few removal, but it's not going to be heavy like the last couple games, so we can just throw him down, not worry too much about it. Often I put him down and just let them waste all of their removal on Fynn, since I know I can bring him back 5 times in a game, and it's not going to break my mana too badly. Would like to kill her. Not going to get the chance. Could do a check, though. Let's see. This should be fine. He probably lets it through. Probably thinks it's quite a good trade there. 2 poison counters. And it may be. We've got 2 ways to get 2 creatures through. Does he let it through again, though? That I'm not sure about. So I think it's better to next turn use the, let's see, 4, 5, 6. Use the Taunting Arbor Mage to force him to block the Florahedron with all of his creatures. And then the turn after, Prized Unicorn. 2 turns after Prized Unicorn. Just have to be able to wait that long. Might think that we're holding back Death Touch because we're afraid of their army, rather than because we can kill them with them pretty soon. Oh no, not good. Okay, that ruins the whole strategy, so now we do have to block with Death Touch. That's an exile, so we can't even get it back out of the graveyard. Show him the unicorn. Can't use it yet, though. Hopefully this is a standoff situation for a little bit. The unicorn only works once, and it works best with 2 or 3 Death Touch creatures out, of course. Maybe forcing him to block last turn on the Fynn would have been nice. No? Okay. So maybe we'll do that. Have to Masked Vandal the ECD, though. Yeah, so that's not going to work. Attack, take 9 damage, or 8 damage, give him some health, let the unicorn die, Masked Vandal the Shadow Spear. And hope we get flying later. It's only 7 damage with that off the board, though, right? Get to kill the Alseid. So that the Taunting Arbor Mage attack, if on the Fynn, if we wanted to, will work actually. Bring the Alseid back. Yeah, this wasn't a good attack either. I should have just... Maybe I have to kill the ECD instead of the Shadow Spear. That's unfortunate. Don't want you to have that Alseid back. Which meant that I should have done the other attack last turn anyway, if I had to do it that way. Oh. Get him up to 6. Don't want to take too much. Now that we've got the Masked Vandal and that out, two ways to get past. Yeah, that exile. Without that exile, we would have already won. It's a good draw. Gets cards. Doesn't kill anything, unfortunately, as a 8/5. Wow. Huh. Well, you showed me. How much am I taking? 5, 10, 12, 13. Indestructible. Well, I'm not finding another creature for the Arbor Mage, but I'm just going to have to chump block with the Arbor Mage anyway at this rate. Okay. So, doesn't matter. They have to block. Can kill. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. Kill that Angelic Guardian, I suppose. Just do the 1 poison damage to him and hopefully get 3 fight cards in that hand. Three castable fight cards. That's 1. I can't even kill the Baneslayer Angel with it because it first strikes me down. Oh, come on, don't worry about it. Oh, that's right, you can. Action. Yeah, I forgot. They just fight. It's not as big of a deal. Come on over. There you go. Bravery. See, how much is this? This is only 5 to cast. That's easy. Suppose have to block there though, because that trample for 2, any more than 2 would kill me. So. And take action. And another forest. Okay. Okay. Put it all. We put all that we had into it. Got him up to 67. They're going to very, very carefully choose this next turn because I have a card in my hand. So that's not... Okay, so over time these games do seem to be getting more and more difficult. That puts us down to like an 80%. So this is good. Got plenty of Death Touch in there. Got the Raven Wings to fly over. They probably have a couple of fights here and there. See if we can get by. A quick win for the last game. Just toss it down. That way they know it's coming. Yeah, but I do want to be able to throw down the Arnreed Dilophosaur or be able to put the Raven Wings on something and put the Arcane Adversary out next turn. Alright. So they have to do something soon. They can kill Fynn, and he's 4 to recast on the block with Yorvo next turn. But I will have the Dinosaur down and be able to recast Fynn with 2 attackers after that. Okay. Put it down beforehand, unfortunately. Or, oh, no, that would be if it was the Arcane. So he needs 2 creatures out on 3 mana. Or that's game. Poison counters. Okay, so that's Fynn. So far it's an 80% win rate. We did not get to turn him into a god, but other than that I think it went pretty well. We did have the chance to do it twice. As you can see, Treeshaker Chimera isn't out of line for the mana. Got just enough in there to get up and cast him the 5th or 6th time if we really have to. Other than that, you know, fight your way to victory. Push through every little point of poison damage you can. Short-term gains are usually better. You know, take your battles, but generally just getting in that poison anytime, any little chance you can is better than trying to build up a board state or something like that. As you saw, there were a couple of games where that could have been a good option, and maybe we would have done better. But for the most part, 80% win rate on just turning him sideways, getting in there, killing everything you can with every little fight. These are stars, of course. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature you don't control. There's no fight there. It's just easy damage, easy kill. Remember, I didn't have the Cliffhaven Kite Sail. This is the best flying thing in there for the beginning of the game. So turn your creatures into flyers and go right over. Usually works in these. The other one, at the end of the game, sacrifice Wings of Hubris. Equipped creature can't be blocked this turn. Sacrifice it at the beginning of end step. So you do have to equip this, then sacrifice the artifact itself before you get blocked, and you will be unblockable. So that's one of the other things we didn't get to see. Blessing of Frost is really good in the deck. If you can spread the counters out and draw 2 or 3 cards, I would generally do that. We're not going for damage here. So unless you have to save a creature with it, or put a creature over another creature's power or something like that, generally spread them out and get them. Other than that, I think we saw all the tricks of the deck. It seems like it went pretty well. I hope you enjoy. Good luck. Have fun.